Welcome to this video series for people who are new to Postman. In this video, we'll automate the execution of a Postman collection. If you've missed any of the previous videos, make sure to check the video description for the entire playlist. So what do I mean by automating a collection run? So far we have executed the requests one by one. We went to the request, opened it, click on send, went to the next request, and so on. We have also written tests and used variables to ensure that we don't need to change the request anymore. But it is still time consuming to go through the entire collection. Here we have only 4 requests, but what if we had 20 or 100 requests? Wouldn't it be great to run all requests at once? Well, the collection runner is a simple tool built into Postman that allows us to run a collection with the click of a button. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the collection, going to open the context menu and select Run Collection. By default, the run order is the same as the way the requests are organized in the collection. So create repository first, create issue, and so on. In this case, it doesn't really make sense to move them. But if you need to move them around, you can simply drag and drop them. Or if you don't want to run a specific request, you can simply go ahead and disable it. Now, in this case, we want to run all requests, and the order that's given here is what we wanted. So what we can do here is click on this button, Run GitHub API. So now with a click of a button, we went through all the requests. The collection runner has executed all the tests that we had. And this is another reason why all requests should have a test. And at this point, we know that everything is working properly. Should something not work as you have expected, you can click on a request. You can take a look at the request body and see what happened. Or you can take a look, for example, at the response body to see what was the data that we have received. It's also possible if your console is full that this data is not logged. Everything that you do is still in the console, so you can click here on clear. And let's run this again. And you will see here all the requests that you have submitted are available here as well. And there's also an additional flag that you need to set to also log the response. So if you're running here the collection, you have here the option to click on Save Responses. So the responses will be saved as well. Let's clear this once again. Take a look here. Again, we open it. We can see the request body. We can also see the response body. So either way, you can inspect what you're sending and what you're retrieving directly from here, or by using the Postman console. Now let's take this a step further. What if we need to test this collection every day, or even every hour? Using the collection runner is fine if we are just working on this collection and we want to run it once to see if everything works properly. But we cannot open Postman, run the collection every hour, and then get back to what we're doing. This would not be manageable. What we can do is to create a Postman Monitor. A Postman Monitor is a tool that lives in the Postman cloud, and it can run a Postman collection whenever you wish, irrespective if your computer is on or off. So to create a monitor, all you have to do is to go to the collection again, and you should see here the possibility Monitor Collection. You can give your monitor a name. And most importantly, you need to establish a schedule. Now I'm going to go with the defaults here. And there are also some other settings which are relatively easy to understand. I'm going to click on Create Monitor. When I do this for the first time, the monitor will not run immediately. It will run according to the schedule. But at this stage, we want to make sure that the monitor is working properly and that there will be no issues. So we can manually start it here. But by default, the monitor will start according to the schedule. So don't confuse this with the collection runner, which you need to start manually. Now, after a few seconds, you may see here that something went wrong. It says here unhealthy. it seems that something is not okay. And if you scroll, you will see that there are 6 failed tests and errors. And you may be wondering, like, what's going on? It just worked like literally minutes ago when I was using the collection runner. Why doesn't it work with the monitor? And this is a very common problem that a lot of people have when they're trying to automate their collection. Now, if we're looking a bit closer at what's going on, we'll see that these requests all come back with a 401 unauthorized. And a common reason for this error is not providing your token or any authentication credentials to the monitor. And let me explain a bit. If we go back to the collection, click here on Edit. If you remember, when we have created this token, we said we're using the current value for something that's private to us and private to our account, and we don't want to share with anyone else. Now, the moment we have created this monitor, we have shared this collection with Postman, at least with the Postman Monitor. And when we did that, we haven't provided the current value, we have provided the initial value. So you can essentially imagine that the current value doesn't exist. The monitor only knows the initial value. And the initial value does not contain a valid token. So for that reason, the monitor is sending an invalid token to the GitHub API. The API is saying, sorry, this is not a valid token, and the entire execution fails. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this token and put it in the initial value, because otherwise Postman Monitor would not have a valid token. You also have the possibility of creating a totally different token that's decoupled from your account, that's only for testing purposes, and giving that here. But just to keep things simple, I'm going to use the exact same token I have used here. So I'm going to save it. Let's go back to the monitor. And by the way, you can reach your monitor again also by the menu here. So you can click on monitors. You will see here the test GitHub API monitor. So we can click here again on run. And you'll see now that the monitor is successful. Everything is working properly. There are no failed tests. And all the tests that we have passed successfully. I hope that this video series gave you a better understanding of what Postman can do and how you can take advantage of some of the most popular features. We have created a collection from scratch, written tests, and made a simple workflow. We have then successfully executed the workflow with the collection runner and with the Postman Monitor. These are all the bits and pieces you need to integrate Postman in a development workflow that uses a CI/CD pipeline with a server like Jenkins, GitLab CI, or Circle CI. If this is the case, the next topic you may want to look into is Newman, a tool that can run Postman collections from the command line. While this is the end of this series, the learning does not stop here. Check the video description for additional resources. I hope to see you again in another series, and until then, thank you very much for watching.